Welcome to Math 130, Fundamentals of Reasoning. This is a full online course, and I'll give you a bit of an orientation to our class and the Canvas class page. So to begin with, if you start here on a web browser and you open up Virginia Western's web page, you can come here to MyVWCC, and it'll open up. And you'll have to put in your password. Actually, mine was already in, so it automatically took me to this next page. And there's a number of interesting places you can go here to get information about things associated with your classes or your Gmail or Zoom. You could even do connections to Zoom meetings from here. But what we're going to do to get to our class page is we're going to hit Canvas, and then you'll have a dashboard, and you might see a number of classes depending how many you have, but you'll click on the class that is our class, which is the Summer 220 Math 130-V1, and click on that, and it'll look something like this. Actually, I'm going to convert this to the student view. It'll look something like this. It should look something like this. And to enter the class, you just come down here, click enter the course. It's not necessary to enter the course. You could also click different modules over here, or different menu items over here. In particular, the modules is the main area you want to go. When you come in, these different modules may be shut down. And I'm going to shut them all down like this right now. And the top one is start here. And if we open this up, you see a bunch of sub items down here underneath this. There's these last couple items will probably be in every one of your classes if you have more than one class this semester, this summer session. But the things that are different in this class is I have a syllabus and an exam schedule. Let's start out with the syllabus here. So if you click on the syllabus, it's a PDF. It'll pop up, and let's review the syllabus quickly here. See if I have any mistakes. I just copied it from past syllabus and did some adding and subtracting. So Math 130. Okay, my name is Michael Pastor. My office is in the STEM building 309J. However, no one's allowed to go there until after the first couple weeks of June, and even then, who knows? It might actually get extended. So we don't know if we're going to be able to get back to campus anytime this summer. Best just to plan on not going to campus this summer, and we'll see what happens. If you want to get in contact with me, you can use my email here. It's mpastor@virginiawestern.edu. This is an online course, so we'll never meet anywhere. And we can have, I don't really have office hours, but we can have individual or group Zoom meetings if folks desire to have a conference or a meeting. So what you'll have to email me, and we'll have to schedule that. But those are reasonably easy to set up, and we can set them up actually through Canvas. Although I guess I have to open up Zoom. I haven't added Zoom to the list here, so I'll have to do that. So we can schedule Zoom meetings if anybody wants to actually have hard scheduled Zoom meetings. Email is the best way to get in touch with me. I've been checking my email quite frequently this summer, but keep in mind I do have a life, and I won't necessarily be able to respond instantaneously to any emails you send me. So plan ahead with anything you're doing, and be patient. Okay, here's a little course description you can go through as we scroll down. This is what our textbook looks like. You can get this from the bookstore online. They'll send it to you if you haven't already got it, or you can purchase it through other means. I noticed it was a little cheaper on Amazon. They seem to always make their books a little cheaper. I have been having issues with Amazon delivering things when they say they're going to deliver them, so be a little wary of Amazon lately. Other requirements for this class. This is an online class, so it's going to involve uploading files and images, also interacting with this Canvas page and our videos, so on and so forth, online. And then So you'll need something to be able to do that with. Now you'll have to be able to upload and download files and scan images, because you'll have exams that will require you to take some form of image of, either to scan it or to take a picture of it, and then to uh, assemble it in a file and then upload that file or submit the file in the appropriate location when the assignment asks for it. And you're supposed to keep track of when these things are due too. Other useful material might include a notebook for yourself, although we have a class notebook, which I'm going to describe later. Scientific calculator. It can also be useful. And if we do have access to campus, if campus does reopen, we will have proctored exams at a testing center. You can use the testing center at the college here for our exams. In that case, if you do go to the testing center, so that would be for the midterm and for the final, only 2 tests during our 10-week class here. So the midterm is at the halfway point, the final's at the end of the semester. You'll be able to use you'll be able to take in with you a scientific calculator and at least one note card, at least one 3x5 note card, and probably up to probably multiple of those 3x5 note cards as study guides. But you won't be able to take your cell phone into the proctored exam. So keep that in mind. You won't have access to the internet either in a proctored exam. More than likely, though, we'll end up having to do what we did during the spring semester, and that is have take-home exams that you just work on, and the honor system is used. You just work on yourself at home. Attendance. The attendance is kind of an abstract method. The first couple of assignments we have in the class here over the first 2 weeks, if you don't submit those 2 assignments, you could potentially be dropped as a lack of participation in the class. So be sure to interact at the very least and submit those first 2 assignments. The other thing, we're going to have course videos. I set up YouTube videos for my course videos, so all you need is the link to the videos, which you'll have in the course. This video here you should receive. It also will reside on the Canvas page in the video section, but you should receive this in an email message I sent to you later tonight. Okay, exams. We've got 2 types of exams for this class. After every section, we're going to have like a practice exam, which I call a preliminary exam. So after each chapter, and we will do, I forget, we do through chapter 12, but we don't do every single chapter. But after each chapter, for the most part, we'll have what I call the preliminary exams, and every one of those exams is going to be a take-home exam. So you're always going to be able to work on that at home. And for those preliminary exams, you can use any resource you deem necessary. In fact, you can even work together with other people. So if you want to interact through a Zoom session with somebody and work on your preliminary exam with somebody else, feel free to do that. Or use a text message. If you want to go on a forum and get help from somebody, that's fine. The other exams we're going to have is the midterm and the final. And the midterm and final are 2 exams that you have to work on solely by yourself. Now, these exams will be set up to be proctored exams, like I said, in the testing center, but we don't know, due to COVID-19 restrictions, whether or not we're going to have access to the testing center. So we don't know for sure if that's going to be the case. And if we don't worry, we'll just have a take-home test. Now, with these preliminary exams, like I should have mentioned this before I went on to the actual midterm and final exams. With the preliminary exams, I'll actually have you guys grade your own exams and then submit them to me via a file, preferably a single PDF file that contains all the pages of your exam. Now, the midterm and the final exam are worth more points, a lot more points. The 2 of them together are worth 70% of your grade, actually. So these are the meat of your grade. They're the put your money where your mouth is sort of exam, and that's why they're designed to be proctored exams. But they'll be based on topics that you practiced in the preliminary exams. So they should be, if you do good on those preliminary exams and you're honest about preparing for class and taking these tests. if you're completely honest about it, and you honestly do well in those tests, you should not really have any issues taking the midterm or the final exam, because the problems will be almost exactly the same. And again, if COVID-19 comes into play and we're not allowed in July or early August to use the facilities at the campus, then these will be take-home tests too. Here's the grade breakdown. The preliminary exams, all of them, will be worth 30% of your grade. The midterm exams will each be, well, the midterm exam will be 35%, and the final exam will be 35%. So all of your preliminary exams together are equivalent to the midterm or the final, essentially. The grading scale is a 10% scale, which is pretty simple to understand. You know, there's situations here. If you're required to, if you're given the midterm and the final as a take-home exam, you'll be required to work on that on your own, and that means there are ways to determine if you've worked together, and some people have actually had violations that have been reported since we started doing these sort of things. But the best policy here is just to be honest and do your tests yourself. You need to get a C or better in this class if this is a prerequisite. I don't know if this is a prerequisite for any other classes or not. Okay, so here's the sections we're going to cover. You can see there's not 10. There's 7, 8, 9. It looks like 9 sections that we'll cover over the 10-week period. And this is a tentative schedule for when the different exams will be due. And this is based on the idea that we're going to have everything as a take-home test. If we have a proctored exam, things will change a little. There'll be a period of time you have to go take the proctored exam at a proctored facility. Test proctoring facility. Excuse me. Okay, so that's the syllabus. You can review that. Let's go back here to modules. And just above the syllabus, I have here a quick look. So you can just quickly click here and you can see when the assignments are due. Those are the only assignments in this class, and that's when they're all due. Okay, so that's our start here. Now, our class notes are, so I run a set of class notes that actually gets live streamed and is saved on a cloud, a VCCS cloud, supposedly, and this is a link to it. Now, this link only lasts for 2 weeks generally, and I have to refresh it every 2 weeks, and sometimes I forget to do it. And if you notice the link is not refreshed when you click on it here, send me an email as soon as possible so I can get it refreshed. I usually put a date underneath it when I refreshed it last. So if you click on this, this will take you to the OneNotes that are our class notes, and they'll be divided up into chapters. And as I go into chapters, I will discuss sections in each of these chapter pages and talk about topics associated. And these are topics associated with the first video lecture. Okay. So back up. So that's class notes. Now associated with each chapter, this should say chapter 1, not 1-2. For some reason, Canvas is bugged and it won't let me change that to chapter 1. It's associated with, I guess, the name of the first video that's in here. For some reason, it's taking that as the title of the page, but it might change when I add more videos. I only have one video here. There's probably going to be a dozen or so videos for this first chapter, so you'll have to watch for those. And we'll pick up here in the next video.